Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And I wanted to make another video today, two videos, like a second video to go with this one. I want to try my best to do two videos tomorrow. Actually, instead of doing two videos tomorrow, I might just try to go live in the afternoon. My best friend wants me to hang out with him in the afternoon, in the evening, later in the evening. Uh, Today I was spending time with I wanted to make a video earlier, but I was spending time with a childhood friend that I haven't seen in a long time. Let's just call him Mitch. Yeah, his name is Mitch. And so I spent all afternoon hanging out with him. I couldn't, I could not say no to hanging out with him. But as you see, I have a new subscriber that I want to give a shout out to, and this new subscriber is actually the cousin, the cousin of the person I was hanging out with today. So it's like I know them personally. I told them I had a channel, and they said, "Oh, I'll check it out." And a couple of days later, yeah. So Stefan Casey, thank you for checking on my channel. Hopefully we'll hang out soon and everything because you are a cool guy and I like hanging out with you. So just wanted to give you an official thank you. So the screen is blank for the moment, but I want to talk about a child. And I don't care how long this episode is because I am going to talk about. I usually talk about music and other stuff, but for this episode, I thought this would be a special treat and talk about when I'm thinking about it. This is my favorite kids show of all time. As much as I love Star Trek and Spider Man and all those other kids shows, as a young kid, this one TV show and the thumbnail. I hope the thumbnail kind of, if for those who know, has tipped it off. And if you have not seen this show, it was a '70s show, psychedelic as crazy, okay? This show was all recorded in 1971 within 9 months. Within 9 months. And there's a special way that they. And I'll start it off here, okay? I'm not going to put any volume on it because, yeah, for reasons, just so you get a taste of what it is. Now, I kind of skipped over the first part where it showed one of the characters, but this is a TV show. There is of course hosted by Vincent Price, which you know from House of Wax and the Fly and Return of the Fly and all that kind of cool stuff. And yeah, Thriller. He did the narration on Thriller. Michael Jackson. We knew who he was growing up. He was a big icon. But this particular show, which of course, if you you'll see the title up in a minute. I'll point it out when it shows up. But this show was not the brainchild of is a couple of producers who brought up this show, but they ended up getting a star. Like he should have been a bigger star. This actor can do it all, and in fact, he ends up playing 10 characters. They like to say eight, but it's 10 characters. Yes, the hilarious House of Frightenstein or Frightenstein, however you want to pronounce it. And of course, the main star is Billy Van, who this show was in that opening, which there he is, Billy Van as the Count. And this is the first episode, and I love this episode. Here's all the characters that this guy plays: the Count, Juana Clyde Batty, the Gorilla, Griselda the Gourmet. Oh, there's Igor. That's not played by Billy Van. These are the only other characters that is not played by Billy Van. There's Igor. There's Mini Count, the Professor, Super Hippie, and Vincent Price, of course. But oh, the Count and this, of course. Here's the premise of the show. The Count, he's been kicked out of he's been kicked out of Transylvania because his monster, Brucey, in the background there, okay, he calls him Brucey. He can't get his monster working. He can't get him to come to life. Once he's able to get him to come to life, then he's able to go to back. Then he's able to go back to Transylvania. And oh, they're singing the Transylvania song. Glory, glory, Transylvania, glory, glory, Transylvania. So yeah, it's cool. And with, of course, there's the sloth, which is a pet of mostly Igor's master, because Igor has to ask him for stuff every once in a while, but it usually gets denied. Especially with one of the, what you'll see up here, what one of his characters called Doctor Pet Vet, who which is a little one of the more educational programs on here, because most of this is just nonsense, silly nonsense. In 1971, it took 9 months, 9 full months to record everything, and it was 120-hour long episodes. That's a lot of content. And what they did for those 9 months is every day when they came to the studio, they would shoot one segment. They would shoot one full day of openings, and then another full day of closings, and then another full days of this character, another full day of that character. They wanted to get, like multiple episodes worth of segments, because this is all there's out here. And here's Wanna Clyde Batty. You're gonna, oh no, sorry, that's the gorilla. That's the gorilla. But but Rana Clyde Batty should be showing up there soon. But that's the gorilla. That's actually played by there's Vincent Price. He's mostly in this first episode. He All his stuff was filmed in 4 days. 4 days of filming all his stuff, all of Vincent Price's stuff. But this will show, okay, I'm going to advance and get to oh, there's Dr. Pet Vet, you know Dr. Pet Vet, like, oh, and of course he wants to give the pretty puppy to to Mr. Sloth. So he's going to go and so he so yeah, see, oh, sorry, I advanced too fast. Let's let's play. So, okay. Oh, go ask Mr. Sloth if you can have Mr. Puppy, a little puppy. So give him a second there. He's gonna go ask Mr. Sloth about the puppy. Oh, he loves him so much. Look at that cute little puppy. Look at those sad eyes. I love dogs. I love that. Okay, he's gonna go ask Mr. Sloth. You know, hey, Mr. Sloth, can I get a nice puppy that Mr. Vet wants to give to me? And of course, oh, no, I'm sorry. The sloth told me I can't have him. It's silly stuff. But pets are friends. Yes, they are. Oh gosh, I have to I have to mention Grammar Slammer. Grammar Slammer. I almost forgot about him. Griselda's almost drives me mad. Okay. But he fixes people's grammar. A little tiny bit of education in there. Yeah, I suggest you check out this episode. Okay, I'm going to leave the link down below. It's the Hilarious House of Frightenstein, the full episode from this guy here. I should subscribe to him. I like that he's putting out this content. I watched this whole thing yesterday, and it is actually the first episode, so it's cool. We got more Vincent Price stuff coming up here, and then let's see what else I have. There's Griselda. Again, it's all played by Billy Van. By Billy Van. You know, oh, this is a great concoction. Gonna be. Oh, let's put this in and this. What is this? And all he's doing is just reading the labels. At first, 70% of this was ad lib for the first couple of weeks of the production. Okay, then as the production was going on, then it was like 80% of it was ad libbed. Then 90% of it was ad libbed. They just had a basic idea of And there's a lot of these segments where again, when they were doing the segments, they would record just one part of like different parts of the same segment during that one day. So they would there was a puppeteer, Joe something, who came up and do some when they were doing certain bits and that they would just riff off of each other and they would crack each other so much sometimes that they had to stop filming and catch their and get their composure because it was just silly stuff. And there's often times when you're watching the show because the crew you can sometimes hear the crew laughing in the background, shaking the camera a little bit, getting all excited. And it was a crazy show. 1971, the year I was born. I was only like a year. I was a little bit baby. I wasn't even a year old yet when they were filming this in 1971. And it's been in syndication ever since. You can find it somewhere, someplace. This is playing on somebody's TV, and it should be because this was so psychedelic. I love this show. I love this show. I love this show. Let's go and check out. Oh, there he is. There's Bonaclyde. There's Bonaclyde Batty. You know, he's a safari guy. An African safari guy, and he again a little bit more mildly educational than some of the other ones. But again, it's brilliant stuff. It's brilliant stuff. Oh, look, he has an otter. Let's get to the otter. No, no, it's stock footage. Stock footage. and and look at this. He plays the stock. Oh yeah. Again, I have to point that out. He always plays that stock footage on a broken on a broken projector on a broken projector. That's crazy. That's wild. And so there you go. There's a little bit of segment. He usually comes back. He'll come like you'll get little snippets of these little just like 2 3 second little snippets. To stay tuned for the next thing because there's commercials. But of course, watching it on this, there's no commercials. You can watch this commercial free on this. But this is just a little Harvey Wall banger. Oh, with Griselda. What and he wasn't on anything. You would think Billy Van must be on some really great, drugs, but nope, nope. That was all him being just silly and he was talented. He was also on the Sonny and Cher show growing up. So I do kind of remember him on that also a little bit. But this when you're a little kid growing up watching this, it blew your mind. It blew your mind. And, it's such a fantastic show. Such a fantastic show. The male guy, and then more Vincent Price. Again, Vincent Price was showing up a lot and this, well, he shows up enough in the other episodes too. I just kind of remember him more from this, but I'm pretty sure I think he does show up more in some of the other stuff. Let's go a little bit forward. Oh, here's the librarian. And what the funny thing about the librarian is he opens up these dingy books and he reads you something that's not scary at all, not in the least. In fact, it's borderline boring. But yet, I got you with that one, didn't I? That was a scary one, wasn't it? Again, hilarious, hilarious stuff. Let's continue this. I just want to get to the different segments to show you a little bit of stuff here and there. Still can't get Brucey and with all the multiple phones. That gag, I remember that gag a lot. Yeah, grammar slammer. Oh gosh, I almost forgot about this here. Oh gosh, yes. Do you come on? This is trippy stuff. This is psychedelic. This is psychedelic stuff. Uh, you know, what can you say about this? What can you say about this? it was hard work. Billy Van will be the first to say it was really hard work, but they had so much fun. And look at Vincent Price having so much fun too. He enjoyed this. He was so gracious and so, so pleasant to be with on the set. He took individual selfies with everybody on the set, made every crew member feel welcome and noticed. And yeah, he took an individual selfie with each and every single yeah, member of that crew and everybody. So Vincent Price, he was a legend. He very much so. But here, there we go. This is my favorite segment of the whole show. This, uh, and I'm telling you, as a little kid, you this was like so over most people's heads, and he wasn't talking down to you. I so respected the professor. I really felt I was learning something with each segment. So they spent the day with this real guy, this real professor, teaching these real physics lessons and that, and all that stuff. I learned so much from that. It was my the very first entity out there that really made me interested in learning and just and in science. And you know I could relate some of this stuff to Star Trek. It's like, I recognized that it how intelligent it was. Yeah, this was the best stuff. But imagine, like a day or maybe even 2 days of filming just this stuff here, just this segment, giving Billy Van a day off or two, so he doesn't have to shoot his stuff. So whenever somebody else comes in, like like the hippie Superman, I mean, with the blonde hair and everything, it's hilarious. Again, I love this show. I urge you to watch. Yeah, this the professor. The professor was just so like magical. It was magical, and I understood. I understood so much of it. Yeah, maybe a little bit of it, but you'd be surprised. I'm because I remember growing up watching this, and I know that I understood. I understood way more than than you would think. Than my even probably my parents had given credit to. All right, let's continue a little bit more. We got more fun with Igor and the Count. What else is there? Then more gorilla stuff. Yeah, more gorilla stuff, and then another little commercial segment break with the with the doctor, and then getting here. That's the commercial. There's mini Count. See, the Count was doing Mini Me before Austin Powers. Or did Austin Powers get inspiration for Mini Me from this? Oh, here's my second favorite segment of the whole show. Wolfman. And check it out, okay? When he's gonna spin a record on the turntable, there's nothing on the turntable. It's blank. Look, there's nothing on the turntable. It's just a blank space, but yet he's gonna pretend that he's spinning records on it. Funny, funny. And they play the whole song, all these old great 60s classic, all this classic. They would play incense and peppermint and stuff like that. But they played the whole song. You know okay, as I'm finishing this up, I want to just leave you guys today with this is a one of a kind, unique television show that you're never going to see again. They're never going to ever replicate it. They're never ever going to get this groovy or this avant-garde and this creative. Like it was such a creative show. And now maybe next weekend, I want to talk about another TV show in about a similar way, and we'll go through it and in the same fashion about uh, and it's my second favorite kids show of all time, and I bet you Canadian. Just want to remind everybody that this show here is Canadian, 100% Canadian, and filmed in Hamilton, Ontario. And yeah, like I said, filmed 9 months straight, 9 months straight. like that's 120 episodes, and they're all an hour. Well, as you can see here, they're all like they're all 47-minute episodes. Just when you factor in the commercials and that. So like I said, I'll leave a link down below so you can go check it out yourself. This particular episode, and check out the wackiness. Hear all that grooviness. See the look 19, how groovy that was. How groovy and psychedelic that was for 1971's. Being a little kid, kids nowadays, they don't have shows like this. They don't have crazy, wacky shows like this. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for I mean, this was the very first, like, when I was a little kid, when I was watching Spider-Man and Star Trek, and 3, 4, 5 years old, because this is stuff is in syndication. Mind blowing, mind blowing. So yeah, okay, 20. It's over 20 minutes. I'm going to let you go because I could probably talk about this a little bit more. But as I leave you, I'm going to end with the same quote as Vincent Price here, where let me see if I can't get it at the same time. Okay. Okay, this quote I know by heart. Okay. Huh. Oh, last goodbyes by the Wolfman and Igor. You know, and so goodbye, and then the castle lights are growing dim. There's no one left but me and him. If next we meet in Frankenstone, don't come alone. Come on, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff, right? Yeah, a legend of my youth. Billy Van, Billy Van, etc., etc. And there's yeah, Joe. Let's go back. Uh, Joe Torre. Was it? Let's go. Joe Torbe, yeah, Joe Torbe. He was the guy in all the costumes. He was the main puppet guy. And Professor Julius Summer Miller. Yes, yes, he always introduced himself as that every time. And big guy, of course, Igor. Or is that the first guy? What's his name? Billy Van, Billy Van. And look how crooked that went a little bit. It went to the side a little bit. It was so yeah, it was so how can I say, almost bargain basement kind of production, but it was ah thank you for this. Thank Billy Van and all the people. Yeah, Fishka Rays. I think that's the big guy. But yeah, it was such a fantastic show. A CHCH production, 1971, produced by the Markowitz Corporation, written, produced, and directed by the Markowitz. Yeah, those are the ones who did the show. Yeah, Billy Van was a legend. And he always ended the same with the same kind of cutscenes and that. Remember, they filmed everything all at once, and then once everything was filmed, and then they released it in syndication. They had it all in the can before they even brought it out to people. And that was the Maharashi, that guy. Yeah. So okay, I am done. I love everybody out there. I love you all, and I I usually want to say, if you are watching this for the first time, to consider subscribing. Don't subscribe to me yet. go watch other videos of mine first. Please watch some other videos, get my view count up, and then find out first if my video is good enough for you. There's an idea of some of the stuff I like to watch. There's a Popcorn in Bed. There's Good Mystical Morning. There's the Prague Corner here. Veritasium, Creaky Blinders, Cinebinge, Rick Beato, Watch Mojo. Just an idea of some of the stuff I like to watch. All right, everybody, I'm done. Everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.